obstacles, I think the number one would be that sort of the fundamental difference between any sort of appointed counsel. So this could be someone in a public defender office. This could be someone that's on a panel and just gets appointed by a judge versus a private lawyer, is that the client didn't choose you. And I think it's a small detail, but it's very, very important. One way or another, be it a referral or however else, every client you have here chose you to be their attorney, and they made that conscious decision. And at any time, if they don't want you to be their attorney anymore, they could stop paying you and go hire someone else. Every client I have meets me by me walking into a cell and saying, "Hi, my name's Nick. I'm going to be your attorney." And it's not like they're given 5 resumes and they get to say, "I pick this one."
That would be pretty cool, though. It's like a menu.
Or it's a lot of my clients are people of color. And for those of you that are audio only listeners, I'm white. They don't get to say, "Well, I'd rather have an attorney that looks like me." It's just not an option they have. Granted, if things are really not going well between me and a client, the client can always ask for a new attorney, and most judges will give someone at least one more shot at having a better relationship with a different attorney. But that's really a fundamental difference it's a hard place to start an attorney-client relationship. When I meet all of my clients for the first time, they're in custody. They're in a jail cell, and that's just a power dynamic that sort of sets the stage for the relationship, oftentimes very detrimentally from the very beginning. And there's conflict with my clients. Some of my clients don't like me. I think most of them come to like me by me getting them good results. That's really the best way that we can prove to our clients that we are good attorneys. We're not just the people that couldn't get real jobs as real lawyers, as some of them think. But I get it. Like, the client has no reason to trust me just because I say I'm your attorney.
Or you just like walked in the door. Yeah. You have to work harder to build that trust between you and the client.
Absolutely.
So, was I doing assignments when I started working with you?
I don't remember.
I don't think so. So I did assignments. I was in private practice, but I took assignments like a lot of lawyers that are starting out. And exactly what you're saying, my experience. Person who comes in and picks you and hires you and chooses to give you money, we're on great terms. The other guy, I'm the same lawyer. They come to the same office, do the same thing, and the way I get treated is wildly different, which is part of the reason I stopped doing it.
Yeah, and that's for me like part of the call to the work. Aside from the fact that just personally, like, I don't want to be dealing with like money and running a business. That's just
really why?
That's just not me. But like fundamentally, like the person that doesn't get to pick his attorney should get just as good of a lawyer and just as good of a lawyer experience as the person who does. And that's really what sort of drives me. And like you said, some of our clients that, we're chosen for don't treat us the best, or are very angry with us, or are very angry at the system and take it out on us because we're the one person that can't hurt them if they take out their anger on us. And I get it. And it's sort of one of the hardest parts about the job is to have a conversation on the phone with the client, have this client yell at you, scream at you, tell you how mad they are, tell you how you're not doing a good job, and then hang up the phone and then get to work on their case. Because that client, despite how angry they are, despite how they might be taking their frustrations out on you, is still entitled to the very best representation that I can give them.
Yeah, and I think I should explain to some of the people who don't know, Columbia Law School is a top-notch law school in the entire world. This is, you're obviously highly intelligent, really good in undergrad, and had very, very high test scores to go there, and had incredible options. This is, for the people who don't live in the legal world they're listening, you had any options. So for you to sit here and say, this is my choice, this, if you don't believe that, this was his choice.
Yeah, and I think, I know, I don't know if you asked or we're going to ask about misconceptions about public defenders. Yeah. And I think one of them is, like I said, there's some people that think that, like, there's the people that, are real lawyers and public defender is sort of a fallback job. And that's just not the case.
People have asked Nick that. I'm not going to name who, but like, when are you going to become a real lawyer?
Yeah, that's like a terrible thing to say.
I'm a real lawyer.
Like, you work really hard for each of your clients.
And it's
I'm going to go hire a real lawyer.
Right.
I went to Columbia Law School, and I could have, most of my peers walked out of law school without trying very hard into very lucrative, very well-paying jobs that, granted, they're working very hard, and I would never want to be in that sort of corporate environment. But that was an option I could have pursued. When I applied to work at the Legal Aid Society, there were about 1,000 applicants, and they hired 10 people. Wow. So it's a very competitive field. Now, granted, if you're talking about going and being a public defender in the Deep South, maybe it's not such a sought-out position, because I said, these are...
Here's your 400 cases.
Yeah. Who wants to want that?
Right. I'm in a very good environment, and there's a reason that these are the jobs that aspiring public defenders want, but it's still, at least from my perspective, the best of the best that are getting these jobs, and they are good attorneys that are public defenders.